Kina is the daughter of the fourth richest man in South Korea. Her life since her birth is the kind of luxury you can only dream of when daydreaming. She has always lived in endless wealth, accustomed to getting everything she wanted with a simple word. Cars, expensive clothes, a high-tech apartment in the most residential area of the city. No one has ever said no to her. She has always been used to having everything she wanted until the day she was going to meet Jace. After a long day at the spa on a Saturday evening, Kina was scrolling through her phone while waiting for her face mask to dry when she noticed a video on her friend's Instagram story. It was a video she took at a cafe in Seoul, but instead of showing herself, she was praising the cafe for having such a handsome barista. The moment Kina saw him in that video, she felt a little something in her heart. She had been on blind dates planned by her rich family, but she had never found someone who caught her attention the way that stranger did in a simple video. She smiled as she asked her friend for the address. He wanted to have him no matter what. The next day she showed up at the cafe. It was a small cafe in the same area as the National University of Seoul. But the reason why she came wasn't there. The barista in the video wasn't there that day. She couldn't even ask for him because she didn't know his name. The following day she visited the cafe again, but he wasn't there. The next day she visited again, and this went on for an entire week until the weekend. And this time when she visited, he was there working like every other worker in the coffee shop. Kina approached him with her best smile. "Hi, I'm Kina," she said. He looked at her and nodded. "Hello, Kina. Can I take your order?" he asked politely in his professional tone. He shrugged. "Can I have you?" she asked. He looked at her, thinking that she was making a joke, but she didn't blink at all, waiting for his response. "Well, I fear this isn't on the menu," he replied. "But I want you," she retorted. "Sorry, miss. I can make you an iced Americano if you want," he said. She looked at him frustrated. No one had ever said something like that to her. How could he say no to her? She was pretty and she was rich. Why didn't he like her right on the spot as well? "I don't want an iced Americano, I want to date you." Jace looked at her, then laughed softly. "I'm sorry, but this won't be possible," he replied. "Why?" she retorted. "Because things don't work like that. I don't know who you are. You'll get to know me once we start to date," she retorted. Jace looked at her, completely flabbergasted. "Are you really serious? Because this is probably the longest joke ever," he said. "Listen, I'm not from this area. I came from Gangnam just because of you, so no, I'm not joking at all." He laughed again, thinking of how crazy she sounded. "Miss, I'm sorry that you had to come from so far just for me, but I can't date you. Now can I have your order, please?" Kina frowned. "I will take the iced Americano then," she replied. She got her drink, and when it was time to pay, she put $1 on the counter with her phone number written on it. She was sure that he would call her. But days passed, he never did. Not a text, not a call, not a sign, nothing. Jace, on the other hand, had a completely different lifestyle from Kina. Instead of living in a high-tech and luxurious apartment in Gangnam, he was living alone in a small student apartment in Seoul, close to his university. He was working as a barista as a part-time job to cover his personal expenses. He was just a simple guy living a simple life. Yes, he looked incredibly good and many girls praised him at school. But his looks were the last thing that mattered to him. He simply wanted to study and provide a better life for himself, his little sister, and his grandmother. The next Saturday when he got to the coffee shop, Kina was already there, sitting at a table alone. He tried to ignore her but feared that she had just come again for him. She stood up and went to the counter. This time she ordered something but kept looking at him over and over again. "Why didn't you call me?" she asked. "Listen, miss, no matter the reason why you are here, I'm not interested," he said immediately. "Why not?" she asked. "I don't even know you. You're a stranger to me," he replied. "Then let's get introduced to each other," she said. She tilted her head and looked at his badge. "Jace? Is that your name?" "Yes," he responded. "I'm Kina," she said. "I know. You've said that already," he retorted, annoyed. He put her order on the counter, ready to move on already. "Now we're no longer strangers. Can we go on a..." "No," he cut her off before she could even finish her sentence. "I'm still not interested," he added. "What's the matter this time?" she asked. "You're not my type," he responded. "Then your type is very questionable," she retorted. "And why is that?" he snapped back. "Because I'm everybody's type," she responded. Not mine, he retorted. That's what I'm saying. You must be tasteless. I beg your pardon, he asked, flabbergasted. I'm pretty, I'm rich, and I'm well educated. I come from the fourth richest family in Korea. I'm everyone's dream, she said proudly. He looked at her pensive. I see, he said. Can I have your number at least? She insisted. No, he responded. Why? I don't have a phone, he responded. He said that simply for her to leave him alone, but the next day he received a box of the most expensive phone he had ever laid eyes on. This was getting serious and he didn't know if he should laugh or worry about it. Who was this Kina and why was she so obsessed with him?